Hello guys, it's still dark, and I know I said I would finish it tomorrow, but I have the adrenaline and I just want to finish it tonight. So I gave myself, I don't know, half an hour break or whatever. So it's 9:52. But let's just go ahead and finish this thing. We're on chapter 33, Allie's perspective. Guys, this is craziness. We've come so far. Okay, chapter 33, Allie's perspective, page 262. When my plane lands in Los Angeles, I swear I feel the whole ground shake. When I realize it's not the ground, then I realize it's not the ground. I'm the one shaking. I wish my emotions were something innocent, like fear or terror, but that's not the case. What I'm feeling is pure rage. It eats at my insides until I can't keep it in anymore, and my whole body trembles. As soon as the cops picked me up, they called my dad and made arrangements to transport me back home. No one has spoken to me in depth about Jace, although one of the officers told me that Los Angeles authorities were filing kidnapping charges against him. I still haven't gotten over the relief of hearing Jace is alive, but I'm choking on guilt of knowing he's in trouble because of me. On the guilt of knowing he's in trouble because of me. Next to me, the airplane's deputy watches me with a mild concern. He's the guy who was put in charge of monitoring me during the flight and getting me back safely to Los Angeles. He wears his gun and security badge on his right hip, so everyone walking down the airplane's aisle can see them. The deputy hasn't told me his name, and I haven't asked. I've kept quiet ever since I was handed over to his custody. The deputy raises his eyebrows at me, and the plane comes to a rolling stop. Not fond of plane rides, huh? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of... No, Memphis, Brooklyn. Not fond of plane rides, huh? Screw off, I snap, surprising both of us. I don't think I've ever said that to an adult. Maybe Jace is rubbing off on me in more ways than I thought, although I'm not sure that's a bad thing. That's what happens when you're in love. Alright. The deputy's brows narrow and he opens his mouth to retort, but then the seatbelt light turns off, and a voice must come on over the intercom because he stares at the speaker above us. The next few minutes are quieter than ever before. My mind should probably be buzzing with angry thoughts, but it's not. All that's there is simmering notification. Okay. My mind should probably be buzzing with angry thoughts, but it's not. All that's there is a simmering sort of rage, and the solemn knowledge that I can't simply go back to my old life. I made it so far, I almost escaped, almost started over. Jace gave me a taste of life, real, vibrant, free life. And now that I've had a taste, I don't think I can ever let it go. I'm not going back to my dad. The plane clears of people and the deputy stands from his seat, gesturing for me to follow. I stand slowly, my legs are still shaking, and my heart beats so fast for my lungs to keep up with it. We come out of the landing tunnel, and the vibrations of the noisy airport strike me from all sides. All around us are bustling travelers coming and going from various terminals, but no one seems to notice me. To my right, I see a little girl run toward a man dressed in a suit. She tackles his waist in a hug, and the man laughs as he scoops her up into his arms. The scene should probably make me smile, but instead it inflates my anger. Why can't I have a dad like that? Why did I deserve a father like the one I have? No, that's not the right question. What I should be asking is, what did my dad ever do to deserve me? I'm a good teenager. I don't smoke or drink or cause trouble. And if given half the chance, I'm more than capable of loving. Heck, most parents would consider me the perfect kid. Nothing. That's my dad. That's my answer. My dad did nothing to deserve me. He doesn't deserve me. I should have no hesitations to fight his hold over me. So then, why is my heart beating so fast, and why is my head so dizzy, my palms so sweaty? I swallow hard, gulping back the fear and replacing it with anger. I can do this. I will do this. The deputy starts leading me toward the main hallway. I assume my dad is somewhere in this crowd, and that makes my gut twist and my blood burn. I've felt like this so many times before, terrified and filled with rage. But now, it's different. Before, there was a shame mixed in with all my emotions. And that always stopped me from trying anything stupid to get away, or maybe anything smart. I'm not really sure which it is, but I know that there's no shame now. There's just this intense concoction of fear and anger, and I'm finally going to put it to use. I look around as we walk, searching for what I need. I pass a couple of bathrooms, but they're too small. Finally, I see one of those huge airport restrooms with 2 entrances. Bingo. I nudge the deputy to get his attention. He glances down at me, but keeps walking. What? What? He asks. I bite my lip and say, I have to go to the bathroom. He sighs. Hold it. I can't. Annoyance flashes across his expression. Look, kid, my job is to get you back to your dad safely. I'm not here to change your diaper. Oh my goodness. Sorry, no, I'm not saying that because of him, but I had a Brooklyn accent ready for him, like a New York accent, but for some reason I just can't do one right now. So, imagine New York accent there. There are 1,001 things I want to say to him, that I'm not a kid, that he has no reason to be so demeaning, that it's impossible for me to return to my dad and be safe, but instead I think back to the puppy dog expression Killer always uses on Arrow. Even deputies can't be immune to that level of pathetic, right? Channel every ounce of my inner puppy I have in me, pat my lip a little, and say, Please, I really, really have to go. I'll come right back, sir. Maybe it's the puppy look that does it, or maybe it's because I called him sir. But for whatever reason, he gives an exasperated sigh and nods toward the bathroom. Okay, go ahead, but I'll be waiting right by the door, so don't try anything. I nod and hurry into the bathroom, weaving through the crowd as fast as I can. A couple of people shoot me annoyed looks, but to my surprise, not one stops me. With all the Amber Alert stuff, I figured someone would recognize me and try to save me, but no one does, and make it into the bathroom without incident. I figure I have about 1 minute before the deputy realizes that there's another entrance to the bathroom. Maybe 2 minutes, considering his level of intelligence. Either way, it's not much time to escape. I walk toward. I don't even know what's going through her mind because then he's gonna contact security with his. Yeah. I walk toward the opposite entrance, going as fast as I can without drawing attention. 20 feet from the door. 10, 5, 2. A woman shoves open the door and I stumble back to avoid smacking into it. I glance up to find the woman gaping at me, her eyes wide with shock. Then she points at me and says, You're Ali Collins, sweetie. Are you okay? People are looking all over for you. Heads turn toward us, and while most people immediately look away, a few start walking toward me. Shoot, this is not good. I run. It's a stupid thing to do. What better way to attract attention than to go sprinting through an airport? But I don't have any other choice. Nothing I say is going to convince those women to leave me alone, and I'm not going to let go of my escape that easily. I sprint out the door and dive into the crowd, pushing and shoving people out of my way. My heart pounds so hard that I think my chest might explode. I accidentally knock some guy to the ground and I hesitate for a single second, but then I just keep running. Ahead I see the main exit. I still have to get past security, but maybe I can do that. They should be more concerned about people running in than out. They hopefully will let me by, and then arms wrap around me from behind. I struggle wildly against them, but they're too strong and I'm trapped. A stream of profanities erupts from my mouth, and I hope I'm yelling them loud enough for the entire airport to hear. The arms spin me around, and in a gut-wrenching moment, I realize how familiar the hands feel. Rough, indifferent, angry. Dad. I have a single second to take in my dad's face. He's glaring down at me, but forcing a smile to appease the people surrounding us. The crowd converges around me. People are pressing in, and my chance at escape is long gone. My dad keeps his hand on my shoulder as he guides me toward the exit. His grip grows tight, warning me not to try anything else. Tears press against my eyes, but I don't let them fall. Can't cry in front of my dad. Even if he's won, I can't let him see me break down. His hand digs into my shoulder blades. His hands dig into my shoulder blades, and I don't think he'll be loosening his grip anytime soon. He talks to the man at the security station, nodding and smiling at the appropriate times. If I try to look at him objectively, I can see the relieved father happy to have his child back, but I appear But I peer closer, and I see the truth all the people around me are missing. He's only relieved because he has me back under his control, and he's not happy to see me, not really. He's just happy he doesn't have to chase after me anymore, and that his reputation as a good man is secure. I look around, silently hoping someone else will see the truth in this situation, but the airport security is busy ushering passerbys away from me, and I'm left alone with my dad. I see two police officers hurrying toward us, and I let out a quiet curse, which just makes my dad dig his fingers into me harder. I shut up and just glare at the officers as they approach. They're no doubt friends of my dad, who are here to help escort me away from the airport. Okay, sorry. Then he lets his smile grow. My dad spots the officers and his brows raise in surprise. Then he lets his smile grow, excuses himself from the airport security guard, and turns toward his colleagues. I watch his lips as he greets them. "What are you boys doing here? You're a little late to the party, you know." He smiles down at me and pats my shoulder a bit too hard. "I've already found my alley." The two officers exchange utterly uncomfortable looks. For a moment I think they're just intimidated by talking to their retired chief. But then a girl steps out from the crowd and none of the security tries to stop her. My breath catches as I recognize her. It's Avery. Avery's mom strides forward next, followed by her father. They all look deadly serious as they stand next to the officers. One of the officers steps closer, his throat bobbing as he swallows hard. He looks at my dad right in the eyes as he says, "Chief Patterson, sir, I'm afraid you're under arrest." I blink a couple of times, certain that I'd misread his lips. But then the officer reaches for the pair of handcuffs at his waist, and I realize this is really happening. My dad smirks, but beneath the cocky expression I see a tinge of worry. "Come on now, you can't be serious." I hold my breath as I wait for their response. Avery's parents have tried reporting my dad multiple times, but they're always brushed off, just like me. So why should this time be any different? The officer nods curtly. "Yes, sir, I'm very serious." My heart stops beating for a long second and then starts pounding wildly. Holy shoot, this is for real. Holy crap, this is for real. My dad's hand tightens on my shoulder until it hurts. "What charges could you possibly be arresting me on?" A moment of uncertain silence passes, and then the second officer steps forward, finally finding his voice. "Child abuse. Child abuse." Okay, the worry in my dad's eyes pushes closer to the surface. "Those charges have already been looked into and dismissed. They're bogus." Avery's mouth opens in a disbelieving scoff and she snaps, "We have 6 people who say differently." 6? Everyone turns to me and I realize I'm the one who blurted out the question. Avery smiles at me and nods. "Yeah, 6. This makes no sense. The only people who have ever dared to confront my dad are Avery and her parents. Everyone else who has always turned a blind eye to my abuse. All of them too scared to face my dad's wrath. It's impossible that 6 people have stepped forward. "Is this true?" my dad asks the officers. The first one nods. "Yes, sir." "Who's claiming I've abused my daughter?" The second officer squares his shoulders and says, "You know we can't tell you that, Mr. Patterson." I almost start laughing right at them. Right then, he called my dad Mr. Patterson, not Chief Patterson, but Mr. Patterson. Little bubbles of giddiness inflate my head, and I shake off my dad's grip. He doesn't dare stop me, and I stride to Avery's side. She reaches out and takes my hand, giving it a comforting squeeze. I squeeze her hand back, letting her know I'm fine. Heck, I'm more than fine. I'm freaking flipping flying wonderful. The next few minutes pass in a blur. I watch the officers step forward and read my dad his Miranda rights as they handcuff him. They lead him away and my dad doesn't resist. He's still trying to reason with the officers and get them to let him go. But the officers won't listen. As they approach the exit, my dad glares over his shoulder at me. He doesn't even try to hide his rage. I just turn away. The doors close behind my dad, and I turn to tackle Avery into a hug, laughing through a new rush of tears. No one tries to stop our celebration, and Avery's parents even join in on the hug. I'm surrounded by people who care, and for the first time in years, there's no one to get in the way. I wipe a happy tear on my eye. Who are the 6 people? Avery quickly signs back. My parents, me, 2 of your teachers, and 1 of your former doctors. I shake my head. Why now? People have always been too afraid to say anything. A certain musician convinced them otherwise. She signs as a grin overtakes her expression. My stomach does a happy little flip. Jace? Avery nods. He called me last night and explained everything. We had to scramble, but we managed to get all 6 witnesses together. After that, it was just a matter of filing an emergency case with CPS. The police took care of everything else. I tackle her into a hug. Thank you. She squeezes me back, then pulls away to sign. Don't thank me. Thank Jace. This never would have happened without him. I grin, but then the expression falters as the truth slams into me. I'm still 17. I'll still need to be in somebody's custody for the next couple of months, and that probably means being shoved into the foster system. Boom, it says a couple months right there. I'm sorry, guys, but it says a couple months, and they said that she was only with Jace for like a month, like 3 weeks. So a couple is like 1 to 2, and a few is like 3 to 4. So obviously she was Jace for like a month or 2. Just saying. Avery takes my hand. What's that matter? What's the matter? Where am I going to go now? I ask. I mean, if I'm not with my dad. She rolls her eyes like it's officially the dumbest question. Like this is officially the dumbest question she's ever heard. You'll stay with me, of course. My parents are going to file paperwork to be your legal guardians. And that will work. She shrugs. Jace already got all this to work. It shouldn't be too much trouble. It shouldn't be much trouble to get you in a proper home. Then her smile grows and she pulls her phone out of her back pocket. Jace told me to show you this text as soon as I could. I snatch the phone from her and read the text on the screen. Even if I can't love, I will love you. I've never been good at following rules, not even my own. I'm at the Austin airport and I'll be in LA in a few hours. Aww. I hug the phone against my chest for a moment and then hastily type out a message in response. I don't even think about it. The words are just there, and I mean them. I love you too. Avery tackles me into another hug, and I squeeze her tightly back, letting out a happy squeal. I flash back to the first night I won the raffle prize and how Avery and I had acted just like this, only this time it is different. Because this isn't a moment of utter bliss. This is the start of an utterly blissful life. We finally calm down a little and Avery nods to the phone. There's a new message from Jace on the screen. Serve-a-me, serve-a-buffet. Serve-a-buffet. What does that mean? Avery signs. I smile down at the phone as I recognize the familiar motto. Hope, I sign, remembering what Jace once told me. It means hope. Guys, that is the end of chapter 33, and actually it's kind of like the end of the whole book, but it looks like I have eyebrows. But we still have an epilogue, and it's kind of like, I feel like it's important, so I'm going to add that in there, but as a separate thing. It's not super long, but like, I think it needs someone. So thank you for joining me. Please join my audiobook family. This again is Olivia Rivers, Tone Deaf. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys for the epilogue. And we will finish this book. It's so sad, but super exciting to just have that story out there and have the world out there. Like, the Tone Deaf world. Thank you guys again for joining me. Ciao for now. Bye.